More than a century ago, Mark Twain described Lake Tahoe as the beautiful relic of fairyland forgotten, left asleep in the snowy Sierras, and also as the fairest picture the whole earth affords. That's a quote from Mark Twain, and he was right. Today we're witnesses to the wonder of which Mark Twain spoke and wrote those many, many years ago. Look at this lake today, and we've all looked today. Its clarity is unique and it's historic, and we need to keep it that way. But 21 years ago was a different story. Emerald waters were becoming murky. Invasive species, more than a century of logging, apartment complexes, motels, hotels, unfettered growth were wreaking havoc to this beautiful basin. Over the decades, the world discovered the beauty of Lake Tahoe. It wasn't just Mark Twain. The world discovered the beauty of Lake Tahoe. And it was being loved to death. Out of desperation, something different was needed, I believed. Something different was a presidential summit dealing only with Lake Tahoe. On Monday in the morning, I reached out to Al Gore. I reminded him that my first call for help 21 years ago was to him, the vice president. He, of course, talked to the president, President Clinton, and the rest is history. My invitation was accepted. The Tahoe Summit was born. Because of that first summit, Nevada became focused on Lake Tahoe. California became focused on Lake Tahoe. The nation became focused on Lake Tahoe. And because they were here for 2 days, we had international press and international attention on Lake Tahoe. So today, 4 United States senators are here, minus one. I'm sorry about that, made a mistake. So preparing for the first summit, we had 4 United States senators, 6 cabinet secretaries, governors, congressmen, administration officials, and of course, the vice president and president were here. They were here in attendance at the first summit. It was a wonderful occasion. Al Gore knew Lake Tahoe. This is where he and Tipper honeymooned. The first gathering was 5 months in preparation. There were field hearings, meetings by members of the president's cabinet and other administration officials. They met with city officials, county officials, state officials, environmentalists, business developers, Native American community, landowners in the Lake Tahoe Basin. They met with virtually everyone. A partnership was developed because everyone wanted to help. That's why the first summit was a success. And during that first summit, President Clinton really summed it up properly when he said, and I quote, "We have an awful lot of work to do." He was sure right. Some said government intervention would worsen the health of the lake. Some said government intervention would damage the lake. To those critics, Lake Tahoe is better today than it was when we started 2 decades ago. Time and resources have been dedicated to water clarity, removal of these logging roads that were so polluting. Transportation upgrades we've made significantly. We've developed meadows for water runoff. We've reduced fire hazards by fire reduction and other techniques. And we've had the best scientific research in the world. That's why the head of the National Science Foundation is here today. That's why some of the best scholars out of California and Nevada work on this 12 months a year. Significant money has been invested in this wondrous lake by the states of Nevada and California, by various agencies of the federal government, and a generous private sector. In the last 20 years, $2 billion has been invested to take care of this lake. The partnership we developed 20 years ago has been essential to effectuate the progress of the environmental restoration of the Lake Tahoe Basin. So today's Lake Summit, as I indicated when I started this little deal a little while ago, is a celebration of progress. It is a celebration of unity. Though there's much work more to be done in the future, we can't be complacent. Our work is not finished. Who better to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the restoration of Lake Tahoe than the President of the United States? No one in America understands the value of environmental treasures, a place like Lake Tahoe. No one understands them better than Barack Obama. He has done so much with his pen because Congress simply wouldn't act. Think of just what he's done to protect our public lands and waterways. He's done more than any president in the history of our great country, protecting more than 260 million acres that were not protected before he became president. So let's reflect on his historic work on climate and clean energy, wind, geothermal, and solar. We all owe the debt, a huge debt to President, a debt of gratitude for his courage on something dear to each of us. For those of us in Nevada and the country, the permanent protection of our public lands is something we want very, very much, and he's going to continue that. But not the least of which of this great work he's done was the protection of 700,000 acres in Nevada in one spot. It's pristine land. It's called Basin and Range. And what is the hallmark of that unique place? It's something we call the city. A work of art that is so fabulous. And Mr. President, we appreciate very much. You did this with your pen. President Obama recognizes that climate change presents environmental threats to places like Lake Tahoe, all over the world. And because of President Obama, our country, the United States, is leading the world in reducing dangerous carbon pollution. It's been an honor to work with this good man for a decade. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce the 44th President of the United States, President Barack Obama.